It's rarely that men come with heavy expectations into relationship. And if he is, that is also a red flag for you because you don't want very anxious, manipulative, needy man next to you. What I mean by this is, let's be honest, sometimes we have different reasons why we want a relationship, and it's not always love and compatibility. Right? Maybe for whatever reason, I don't want to be alone right now. It's like, oh my God, there's so many shifts and changes in my life. I just want to feel safe. And when I'm next to a man, I have this illusion that I can exhale and feel safe. Now, I explain it in a very smart way. You probably would not think that way, but you would almost feel that there is like the desire to be next to him. It's almost like a primal necessity. So it's a very different feeling than attraction or your choice. And this is not to shame. We go through different moments in our life. It's absolutely okay wanting a support, a protection, somebody who can make your life easier in one way or another. But we want to be honest and we want to kind of feel and see those energies and not let those energies to be in a driving seat. Sometimes it can be simply a clock, right? It's time for me to get married or it's time for me to have kids. And I don't have time for this ambiguity. I actually don't even have time for us to get to know each other. Can we just get into a business? The other thing is, and again, this is something that you might be doing unconsciously, because again, we we like sponges take a lot of information without actually ever pausing and thinking. It's assumptions. You might think, because you watched a lot of romantic comedies, that if we had sex, it means that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's not his reality. That's not how he thinks about this. Or if he took me on a vacation or we spent a great weekend together, it means that we are boyfriend and girlfriend. Or it means that we are exclusive without actually ever talking to him and checking what's in his head and what meaning he has to those milestones in a relationship. Because one of the biggest confusion at especially at the early stages of dating that happens is complete mismatch of meaning, where you have one meaning assigning to what's going on, he has completely different meaning. None of you ever communicated, and you kind of, being in a very different relationship and then having crisis, being in a completely different relationship that doesn't actually have any overlap. Are any of you can recognize some of this? Don't feel bad. That's totally okay. That's why we're educating ourselves, so we're not repeating those mistakes. So please clarify those things. And please, please, please do the work. Work with a coach, work with a therapist, educate yourself. If there is, right, like agenda going on a first or second date, this is your inner red flag. Doesn't make you bad, doesn't mean anything. This is just an, oh, interesting. Why this has to work, what expectations I have here. Because when you enter this date, and even if you're a great actress and you can act breezy and nonchalant, the heavy energy enters the room with you. In the Love Goddess Experience program, I teach you in detail to understand what is feminine energy, what is feminine field. And that is how you feel. You cannot fake that. I like to use a metaphor where you didn't wash your body for several days and you putting a beautiful dress and hoping that have a beautiful dress can create an illusion that the body is clean and doesn't stink. But when you enter the room, the smell enters with you. It doesn't matter how put together you are and what it is that you're saying and how you're acting. That smell, that energy of the expectations, or I'm in a rush, or I need something from you, is there. And men usually respond to that. I often say that men respond to us and we react to them and their behaviors. So we are interconnected in the cycle. And that's why when you work on yourself as a woman, which is the whole point of the Love Goddess Experience program, is we want to understand what does it mean to be a woman, a feminine woman who sits on her own throne, who is not a beggar, who doesn't need anything from anyone, who's not being defined by the relationship, is not a function in anyone's life, right? It's like I define who I am, what my life and what my relationship is. And that knowledge, that understanding, working with your body, also with your nervous system, with your mindset, helps you to be less reactive. Less reactive woman is not only irresistible woman, but it's in many ways unbreakable woman, a woman that's impossible to manipulate. And that is actually how we can create our own safety in relationship with man. Because that is a true empowerment that gives you a real power versus waiting that patriarchy will collapse, or we're going to burn all the men and it's going to be just a planet of women, or whatever other insanity where we're waiting for them changing and them fixing. Nothing's going to change for us. So that's why we want to take a responsibility for all those things.